everyone. Welcome to the podcast with Bakhtiyar. Today we have Sahaj in our house, and he's the king of resume. Like build the most powerful resumes and make you get the job, whatever job you want in the industry, wherever you want. So he helps people in building great resumes. And yeah, so we'll be having Sahaj, and let's talk about Sahaj, about himself, a bit of introduction about yourself, Sahaj.
Sure. As you said, I am into end-to-end job search as well. So starting
Oh,
with resume, tell how to get interview call, and the last part, most important part, the interview and salary negotiation. But yes, I believe am good at creating resumes. I've been doing it for almost 3.5 years now. I've cleared all the major firm ATS like PwC, EY, KPMG, Deloitte, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Paytm, Microsoft, all the big names that you might have heard of. I also give workshop. In a small word, I try to help people get the job that they want. So that is what I do, and I've been doing it for 3.5 years
that's quite experience. Like you have taken all the big names, I guess, in the
now.
industry, and
There are more.
there are names which are like I know about you. Like you have helped people in getting into management consultancy also. It's like yeah, so
Yes.
it's great. So Sahaj, like and for people who are watching this, we'll be sharing 5 most powerful tips how to make the best and most powerful resume to get yourself landed in a great job. So
Right.
first question, it's like what is, see, I have seen a lot of resumes because I get it for the job purpose. You are a master in
Right.
creating those resumes. So one question on that,
Right.
I know what's the difference, but maybe people at large don't know about it. So what is ATS compliant resume and a normal resume, and how it creates a difference in getting job and getting yourself shortlisted?
Understood. Okay. So very good question. Majority of the people don't know about it because they don't even know there is such thing as an ATS or what it really is. So I'll start like with the ATS part. So ATS is nothing. It just you could say an intelligent database. It can collect all the resume. It can scan them. It can sort them out. Here, audit people here, marketing people there, accounting people there, and so on. So that is what an ATS. When you apply for a job, your resume do not reach to the person, recruiter, sourcing specialist directly. Because I used to be a recruiter before getting into all this. So it will go to a database, and that database will decide based on the keyword, based on the skills, based on education, experience, all our requirement, if you're a good match or not, and then it will decide if your resume deserve to be seen by, you could say, human eyes. So that is what in short the ATS is, or applicant tracking system, applicant tracking software. There are few full forms. So that's what an ATS. Now what is the difference? A normal resume has been created generally to show that you can do the job that they want you to do. That's it. They don't care about the ATS. They don't remember key. There is a system. There is a robot. There is a bot that is going to go through resume before it reaches to the human eyes. So that's where the ATS resume comes in. You try to create a resume keeping that in mind. Before it reach to a certain individual, a certain person, it will go through a system that has been designed to think in a certain way. How it thinks, for what is the core difference in terms of on a piece of paper, I would say a resume that is very easy to read, that is very easy to read by the system. That means it don't have much of graphics, it don't have icons, it don't have photos, it don't have very darker tone of colors. So that is the core difference there. So you try to create a resume keeping in mind that an ATS bot is going to read your resume, and you try to keep it very simple. You use very common font, you use very common formats, you try to write summary as summary, you write experience as experience, and not career accolades or something. You write education as education, not career timeline or something, because those words are generally not readable by the ATS system. And if your resume has those things, it will not be readable, and probably you're not going to get any interview call.
So lots of technology have been used in sorting these resumes, because if you're getting a resume, like you have put down one vacancy is there in JP Morgan, you get 2600
Right.
resume. A human, I can't do that.
Right.
A human,
Yeah.
I
So
can't. Yeah. So
yeah,
please.
no one even wants to do that. That is the bigger problem. If you go through 26,000 resume for one position, you just cannot do your job, because even recruiter have targets. Let's
Yeah.
say I need to fill 5 position, 10 position every month or so, depending on different
Mm,
profile in companies.
mhm.
If I'm going through 26,000 resume for one profile, there is no way I'm closing 10 in a month, right? Yeah, I'll be out of a job before anyone else. So we use an ATS system. It clears out majority of the people, and the people who are on the top ranking gets an interview call. That's why you see some people are getting repeatedly great interview call. Other people are not getting a single one. That is the core difference.
Hmm. So, like, kind of software and AI tool has been used in these creating these
Right.
resumes. So, one question, Sahaj, to you, like, what kind of AI bots are there? Because we know AI is there now, ChatGPT is there, so AI is there, and
Right.
AI bots or any kind of free website which provides like not that much kind of expertise in resume, but build you a basic ATS resume so that you could apply for a basic entry level job or something like that. Not so.
Yeah.
Are there any like websites, applications, or AI bots available in the market?
There are too many, because this is very easy to create and almost everyone is trying to make money out of it.
Hmm.
So there are way too many. They will have a freemium plan. Like, okay,
Hmm.
you can download your resume one time for free, but for second time you'll have to pay after creating your resume. So there are too many. But honestly, if you ask me, Saj, pick one. Either you could pick the best website, or you could pick a person to create his or her own resume. I would go
Hmm.
for the person creating their own resume.
Hmm.
Why so? Because the format that they use, and the restrictions that they have in terms of creativity, in terms of spacing, are not at all good. And some of those ATS, so-called ATS resume board, are really not readable by the ATS system. So there are
Hmm.
many. In case like you could go for Novo Resume, you could go for Higher Snap. Higher Snap is actually pretty good. It's an Indian system also. So you could
Hmm.
just create your resume there directly. You could like either upload your current resume and edit it, or you could create a new resume. So let's say you're writing your profile summary and you're like, yeah,
Hmm.
I don't know how to write it. I'm not an expert resume writer. What do I do? So you could just put in your profile. Let's say from accounts, let's say from data science, project management, whatever. You could mention that. It will give you a list of options you can pick, add it, and copy paste in your resume. So there are many. One is HireSnap, one is Novo Resume. You can also use Canva. Canva's normal like templates are readable by the ET system. I've created on it. It have cleared all the big for all the big name as well. So it
Hmm.
is also there. But in the end, it is not your format, but the content that really counts. You can get
Hmm.
format from anywhere, but best is to go through like create your own resume using those tools, maybe to create your bullet points, to create your profile summary.
So Sahaj, like you have talked about a website which is for Indian kind of resumes. So here, there one question
Right.
pops up: what is Indian resume? And this is I have seen that difference. I have seen international resume of international candidates also, and I have seen Indian
Mhm.
resumes which we all prepare, which is a like one
Right.
pager if you have a certain amount of experience, like not beyond that. So what is the
Right.
difference between this international resume and this? That
Indian is
Indian resume. So what's the
right.
difference? You have seen this.
Right. So although resumes are universal, They are the same. Your experience is your experience, regardless if you're in India or you're in US or in UK. There are some small things that will change as per particular country. Let's say you're going for Europe, you're going for Germany, you're going for US. If you put your photo there, you're out of the process. If you go to Germany, you put your photo, then it's a very, very good thing to do so. If you go to, let's say, Dubai and you put in a photo, then there are no current restrictions. If you put, you're rejected. If you don't, you are rejected, anything like that. But it depends on an individual, and they tends to put their photo in. So there'll be small differences. If you're going for international opportunity from a different country, you must add in the language that you speak. There'll be some specific requirement for a specific country. Those will change everything else, your profile, your experience, your education, the ATS, all of these things are universal. So if you could create one good resume for one country, you'll just have to make small changes for other countries. When I said Indian website or international, I've seen people into specific profile. Let's say someone is into taxation. Now, if they use those online boards now, and they're from a tax profile, they will only get those US federal laws, different law. They will not get our GST. They will not get our income tax system. But when you pick those Indian resume making website, first they are cheaper. Second, they will have those particular bullet points. They will not talk about US UK laws. They'll talk about the Indian tax laws, Indian laws, and that. So that was the core difference there. Other than that, for normal profile, everything remains the same.
So Sahaj, like coming down the line, but what the theme of this whole podcast is like how to make powerful resumes. So 5 tips which you want to give for building that powerful resume for Indian context only, because internationally it's like you need to get that expertise to put in that for country specific resumes. So 5 tips.
Right, right. I'll give you five that will work everywhere and they'll be best for India. Right. So first of all, I would say don't focus on creating a powerful resume in one sense. Focus mainly on getting the interview call. Your purpose of creating a resume is to get the interview call. If that is it, you're good to go. Right. When we talk about powerful, people tends to add very, very weird word. I'm ambitious, I'm motivated, I'm this, I'm that. All of these are buzzwords. They don't work at all. So not at all worth it. So you first want to focus on a very simple thing, and that is the job description. That is our tip one. You start with the job description. You try to understand what the industry is expecting out of me, what the industry expecting out of me, what is going to be my day-to-day responsibility, what are going to be the skills I need to perform those responsibilities. You identify that through the job description. That is our tip one. The second tip would be to use a normal black and white resume format. And if you struggle for a specific resume format, go for the best institute in that country. Let's say you're targeting international or Indian thing. If I'm going for Indian, I would search for IIM Ahmedabad or IIM Bangalore resume format. I will know what is working there. I'm targeting US, I'll pick Harvard or some big university there. I'm targeting UK, I'll pick some big university there. Germany, some big university there. They will set the tone of the resume format and all the things that you need to fill. So pick very simple black and white format from a good university perspective. Majority of them will have a black and white single lane format. That is our tip two. If you're not great at it, please don't go for infographic resume. That will be the biggest mistake that you will make because everyone is looking for ATS template. That is tip two. Tip three will be to use action verb and number. Instead of saying responsible to do this, responsible to do that, working on this, working on that, doing this, doing that, instead of using these words, you want to use action verb. Managed this, executed end to end this, created this, conceptualized this, built this, saved this. You want to use action verb instead of responsible to do this, responsible to do that. With that, you also want to use your numbers. Now everyone hates using number. If you are in a profile where you're not creating impact, you feel like, yeah, I am not into sales, I'm not into something big where I'm creating a direct impact. Just try to talk about the volume of work you're involved in. You could talk about, okay, you're working on a project, what is the worth of that project? Okay, you're at a manager level, you're managing a team of people. Talk about how many people. Manage a team of, let's say, 10 member and a team of, let's say, 300 people. So try to add in those number. This is our third tip. The fourth tip I would give is, ask your friend, your peers, your seniors to look at your resume. When you're done with your resume, you want to ask real people, okay, what are the two three first things that you look at? If I'm looking at your resume, I'm a recruiter, so I'll probably look at the experience first, then I'll move down the skills and then the profile something. But what does a normal person really picks out of your resume? Is that the thing that you want the recruiter to focus on the first part? So ask your friends, your colleagues to look at your resume. And the last step will be to check your ATS scores. When you're done with your resume, you're at a level ki I'm going to use this resume to get the job. I'm going to apply for this job. You want to check your ATS scores. You want to identify how good or bad your resume is. You want to identify how you can improve it. So that is the last step. Check your ATS score. Try to target at least 70 plus, although the ATS will say 85 plus, 90 plus, not at all required. You're 70 plus, you're good to go there. So this will be my 5 tips. You do that right, I'm very confident you'll get the interview pass.
Sahaj, you also like run a workshop for resume building. So
Right.
a brief description if anybody wants to join, because resume is not like basic levels you can create it yourself, but when it comes to
True.
expertise, you definitely need expert at some point of time. And your workshop is like, I have heard recommendations from many. I have heard like he helped me out in landing this job. And so what you provide in your workshop, a brief description.
So the workshop is about end-to-end job search. We talk from writing, how to write your name on the resume, till the end of the salary negotiation and everything in between. So that is in simple word, that is what we do. If I talk about resume specifically, what I tends to focus on is ranking. Okay, there are, you said 26,000 resume when you apply for a JP Morgan job, right? Sorry, 2600. Then not 2600 people are never getting the interview call. High chances the first 50 or 100 people will get the interview call. How can you be in the top 5, top 10, top 1% of the people when you apply for a job? I tends to focus on that, and there is a process that I follow for that, starting with the job description, creating the resume, ATS score, and all. There are some more things as well, including the cover letter and all. So that is for day one. Then on second day, I talk about something that no one talks about. Everyone is about resume, interview call. What about the gaps? What about having a perfect resume and getting the interview call? What about this distance? This is where majority of the people really struggle. So that is our day two. How to target people, how to target great companies. Maybe you have a 4 year gap, how to look for a job then. Maybe you're looking for a career change, what to do then. Maybe you want to find email, how to find thousands of them without any email finder or anything like that. So that is our day two. And on day three, we talk about the interview, how to prepare, what to prepare, how to stand out, how to perform, how to do salary research, how to do salary negotiation, and how to cover loopholes, have a gap, bad grades, not answering any question. So everything related to job search is there in the workshop.
So Sahaj, like it's like very pleasureful to have you as a guest here. And
Very
if
good.
anybody wants to reach out to Sahaj, I'll provide the link of Sahaj LinkedIn. They can go through that link and reach out to him.
Right.
and also his workshop link will be there. So if anybody wants to attend it, see, if my perspective is, if you want a great hefty amount of salary in your pocket, you need to make a little investment at the initial stage. So
Very
just,
true.
and it is like very, it's not a very expensive kind of stuff, it's very economical. You can go through his website and decide if you want to go for that or not. And
Right.
thank you so much, Sahaj, for being here and sharing these kind of tips and AI bot software and whatever it is. So it's like we have got a great insight about the resume industry, and you have said you are there since writing your name till the salary negotiation. So there's a whole bridge which you cover. So thank you
Right.
so much. Thank you so much, Sahaj.
Happy to help you. And thank you so much for inviting me. I really, really liked it. Especially the questions. People ask very normal questions. Your questions are really good.
Thank you so much, Sahaj. Have a great
Yes,
day.
thank you.
Bye bye.
Sure. You too.